Hello again and welcome to one of the Mordian Mondays. This is episode 98 and this week guys I only have one model to show you, but it's one of my favourite ones of all time. It is Lord Castellan Usaka Creed, the old man himself, the bulldog of Cadia. I absolutely love this model, and in fact this particular casting of Creed, shall we say, it was one of the first officers that I've ever had in my Imperial Guard army. Those of you who've followed my channel for a long time have heard the story a lot, but basically how I got into Guard was I went to secondary school and someone was selling, I had some birthday money, and someone was selling their Imperial Guard army, and I got quite a haul for about 40 quid back in the day. And in there was like the old Demolisher, an old Chimera, about 40-50 Guardsmen, and then there was Creed and Kell alongside a couple of other bits. And I've had Kell painted up for a long time, but finally it feels good to have Creed back in my army. Now, I never ran him as Creed, and I very rarely do. That might change with the new cadence that's come out, but he is just an absolute fantastic model. I actually nicknamed him Colonel Mead, Mead, Creed, I know how original, Mordian, Creed, Mead, that was the whole thing. But it's tell you what, this model led my infantry into battle for over 15 years. Or about 15 years, a long time. And it's essentially, I haven't used him since I started the Great Mordian Restoration Project, which is like it must be like over 2 years ago now, coming up to 2 years ago. It's a long time ago. I think we've surpassed the 2-year mark fairly recently. So for 2 years, I've not had the commanding officer of my regiment commanding my forces on the battlefield, and it's just not felt right. It's just felt, not on. So it's really, really good to have the old man painted up again. And I absolutely, I have to say, the whole time I was painting this model, I had a big grin on my face, because when I first bought him, he'd been painted by the person that originally owned the model. And then when I repainted him in my colour scheme, I didn't actually repaint it. It was like my brother. So I never actually got the chance to paint Creed up myself. But I finally have done. And I absolutely loved it. I spent a couple of evenings just taking my time, just doing all the different layers and edge highlighting, just doing it properly, trying to get it all perfect. And I just have to say, I really, really like the way it's come out. I was a bit unsure on how to do the green and blue on this model, because if you look at my other Mordians, other officers, other Cadians that I've converted over, I've obviously done like the tunic and the body armor green and the pants blue, but then I figured, well, obviously my other officers have had big green greatcoats on, so I want that. So I wasn't sure how to do it, so I figured, you know what, at the end of the day, as long as there's a good balance, it's fine. And the colour scheme is so good at tying different models together. That's what I've realised. So I did all of the cloth, like his tunic and his trousers, blue, Mordian blue, nice, deep, rich blue. And then I did the big greatcoat in green, and I think it worked out pretty well in the end. I mean, you guys let me know what you think. I have also done in the past. I have done the armour of some of my officers, like bronze or brass scorpion rather than silver. But again, I decided with Creed, if you look at the placement of where like the holsters are and everything, the brass and the brown would look really similar, and I think it wouldn't have looked good. So I decided, at the end of the day, this is Creed, this is Mead. He can be a little bit different, he can stand out a little bit, but he can still be tied together with the rest of the army. So he got silver armour, whereas, because a lot of the because if he didn't have any silver armour, again, his weapons, there wouldn't be a lot of silver in the model, but actually if you look at my Mordians, the rifle's a big silver bit of the model. So he got silver armour to represent the right proportional amount of silver, and so it didn't clash with the brown holsters. Nice blue all over and a big green greatcoat, and then the rest of it's obviously just sort of fine detail and whatnot. And yeah, I really enjoyed dry brushing. I've been dry brushing for a long time with a not appropriate brush, just like a medium layer that's just all splayed and all gnarly. And I finally got myself a proper, for this model, I was like, I'll do it properly. Got myself a proper dry brush, and it makes such a world of difference. I've been basically dry brushing with one hand tied behind my back. But like I said, it was a really great model to paint. Lots of nostalgia, all that good stuff. A load of, all those emotions coming back, and it just feels great to have the old man back in charge of the regiment. And no, he couldn't come back soon enough, because I actually ended up using the model straight away in the tournament that I went to this weekend. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that, bit of a sneak preview. The full video itself should be coming out, the full tournament review should be coming out on Wednesday. I still need to record it. So I'll probably record it tomorrow and then release it on Wednesday. Now, what was the tournament I went this weekend? It was a 2-day grand tournament, and it was run by the Northern Warlords, and it was hosted by Glasshammer Gaming. All, these are fairly, if you're in the tournament scene, these are fairly, sort of common names. It was a fantastic event, and I took the New Cadians, and I took the I took 4 tank commanders, 2 full payload manticores, about 120 white shields or so, and I took Creed. And that was basically the list. Very simple. First time I've run an Imperial Guard list that doesn't take up a full page or 2 pages. It was barely half a page, and so it was really straightforward list, and I had an absolute blast. I'm not going to give the game away now. Obviously, I want to get you guys hyped up and then do the big reveal in the video itself. But let's just say the New Cadians aren't too bad at all. Certainly felt like I'd had a shot in the arm using my regular guard. Certainly felt like I had a viable alternative to using my scions or my pure infantry. And it's the first time in a long time when I've run hybrid standard guard in a non-custom regiment and felt powerful. Felt like I could do something more than just die well. So it was really, really good. Performed really, really well. And spoiler alert, I didn't win the event, but I didn't come bottom either. So there you go. And I personally very, very happy with how I did. Little bit of thing to get you guys hyped up, just to tease a little carrot in front of you for now. That sounds wrong. Anyway, to get you guys hyped up, I've played into Hive Guard spam, Leviathan Hive Guard spam twice. And so those of you that have been following the online scene and the general chit and chat around the water cooler regarding the Cadian supplement, or should I say the new Octara supplement, will know that a lot of people say the Guard got the raw end of the deal, that the Tyranids came off way better from it. That is, well, all I can say is you'll have to watch the video to find out, because that's not necessarily the case. It was two very interesting matchups, and I went into 2 iterations of the Hive Guard spam. One, I went into someone who ran 12 Hive Guard, and then a lot of really good support. Really good support, and I then faced the dreaded 18 Hive Guard spam list. So I faced both. I faced, some people are saying 12 or 18. I faced both in one weekend with the New Cadians. So I'm really excited to do this video back from this tournament, because I actually went into just a little sort of like peek behind the curtain, so to say. I actually went into this tournament kind of expecting to go 0-5. Crazy, right? That's what I was kind of expecting, because I've just struggled with my pure guard, my regular guard, for so long, and I just wanted to basically take the new supplement for a spin with a quintessential classic hybrid guard army, tanks and infantry, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary, stuff, just your normal guard army. And I wanted to see, I just wanted to basically see and stress test the new supplement. And I was not only was I able to do that by taking on the new Tyranids twice, and then 3 other, I'd say, or 3 9th edition codexes. So I didn't take on anything soft. In fact, I would argue that on purely on paper, that my list might have been the softest one there. I kid you not. I was the only Imperial Guard player there, and I think I might have been There might have been a few Harlequins and maybe a Custodes, but I think I was one of 5 or 6 people that were running an 8th edition codex, and the remaining 35 were running 9th edition, or things like Leviathan Tyranids, new Tyranids, which I would argue is kind of 9th edition. So I faced the meta. I took the new Cadians into the Eye of Terror once more, and came out on the other side with battered and bloodied, but certainly not broken. So obviously I hope you guys are super, super hyped for the video that's going to be coming out now. I'm super hyped about it. And I've got lots of lessons learned and loads of cool stuff to talk about. But I'm going to leave you guys wanting more. I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Of course, as always, please post your hobby stuff down in the comment section below. I love reading about my fellow Guard communities' endeavours on the painting front. And also, speaking about tournaments, I want to say a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. It's thanks to the Patreon supporters, and I know I say this all the time, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's just true. It's thanks to the Patreon supporters that I'm able to do things like get the new supplement and go to a tournament straight away with it and stress test it straight away. It's thanks to them that I have the funding and the ability to do that. So massive thank you to all the Patreon supporters. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and if you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, there's a link down in the description below. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.